Hello, everybody. Welcome to, I saw it, episode number 7, actually, of the B2B e-commerce tech talk. So if you do not know me yet, my name is Arno. I'm the Chief Product Officer here at Sana Commerce. And yeah, what are we doing here? Concept is very straightforward. Every month we are gathering with a group of enthusiasts, people that register online. We are covering one or two agenda topics, always about B2B e-commerce and related to technology. What's going on in the market, it's an actually an opportunity to discuss it and to ask questions to us. Share your experience if you want so, anything that can be for help in the others joining in the virtual room. So we gather every first Thursday of the month using LinkedIn Live. Keep an eye on the socials, and if you want to know which subject we are taking, we are always publishing that before starting the episode. So don't worry if you cannot make join a session for the audio and so on, and the video will be shared. The audio is available in our podcast channel, which is called B2B e-commerce integrated, and the video is being published on our YouTube channel as well. So and if you have not started following these channels, I can of course recommend that, and if you like it, also thumbs up. That's helping the others to find it as well. Emilie, welcome as well.
Thank you. My name is Emilie Dubois. I'm the Director of Customer Success for Sana. So I'm the last 5 years and a half dedicated to making our customers successful. I'll be your moderator for today. So Arno will do most of the talking, and I'll be helping you ask questions. So as Arno mentioned, we are now hosting this only on LinkedIn. We are live, and so we are taking questions through the chat. Post your questions there, and I'll make sure they are being asked. If we don't have time to go through all the questions, we will try to answer them later, or maybe use them as an input for our next topic. And actually, the next session will be on January the 5th, the new year. If you've been a recurring listener to this podcast, or this tech talk, we used what we called an outcome framework based on input from customers to help them be successful with B2B e-commerce. And I'm very excited to announce that last week we launched it officially as part of what we call a Sana Success Track. So if you haven't seen it yet, check our socials, check our website to learn how we help our customers be successful. That being said, today is a special edition. As you can see, we dressed up for the occasion. And today, with Christmas around the corner, we want to unpack with you some new B2B e-commerce presence that Sana has for you and should be on anyone's roadmap for 2023. Because as a famous Christmas singer once said, all I want for Christmas
is
B2B e-commerce presence, of course.
B2B e-commerce presence. Okay. All right.
Let's start with the first present.
Yes. We are pleased to announce that we have, I think it was somewhere this year, a couple of weeks ago, we introduced a new feature which is called content presets. That makes the life of our, let's say, store owners easier, because it makes it easier to create, edit content much quicker. So, what is it actually? Presets or content presets are predefined content variations that can be used by editors, by marketers, to create very nice looking web stores, B2B web stores. So you can see it as let's say a template or a cookie stamp in your content creation. And I'm really happy to have so.
Yeah, and can you maybe tell us why good looking content has become essential for B2B?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we have, of course, heavily invested in a visual designer, but that's just a feature. But why do you do it, right? I think best is always to share a customer story, and maybe you have or you have not, but if you have the chance, listen to the podcast episode that we recorded together with Sean Stapleton from Lear Auto. That's a customer from us in the US, and they do a lot with content, and they have a great looking web store, B2B web store. And he explains, good content is, let's say, an outward sign of how professional you are as a company and how you operate. So if you're not producing good content, it indicates that you might not be a professional company. That's at least what you that first impression needs to be right, as well as it's not only about that you need to start with this content, but I believe there are still, at least when I'm looking at them, a lot of ugly B2B sites out there, right?
Yeah.
So it's not all on the top priority of most of the wholesale distributing of our manufacturing companies. Not everybody has huge design departments, right? So then we are here to help and to give you a nice looking B2B web store.
Let's look a bit at it, and maybe you can tell us more about what these presets consist of.
Yeah, sure. So presets consist of a predefined layout. And with Sana, with the visual designer, you can build your web store with building blocks, text elements, images, but also interactive one where you can display a piece of interactive data or real-time data from your ERP system, for example. Why would you do so? Yeah, because you want to make that content so as personalized as possible, right? So showing the name of the logged in user, or maybe something from statistical information from the order history, like a lot of content can be created, for example, based on, you ordered so much, so we welcome you as a good customer in that sense. So, but technically, you can. It's quite some work to, like with Lego, if you need to do every block, it's sometimes easier if you can already have, let's say, a complete wall or the window or the door. And that's actually, I would say, what we have built. So these rows of content, pieces of content, you can prepare now, and we have prepared also samples for you, and predefined already the styling for it, and actually created with these Lego blocks, created, let's say, these presets, which you can, for example, use to showcase an article or showcase your team or have a banner. And that is, your starting position, quick start for creating your site, because we also know that it can quite take some time if you want to do it good, right? So we can help our customers to do it quicker with these presets.
Okay. Gift number 2 that we're going to unpack is customer segments.
Yes. I was actually still digesting the customer or the presets. Maybe one small thing to share that as well is that this was just a starting point. We are adding a lot of extra things. I know from the guys from product that in my team that they are working also on maybe functionalities like sharing these presets. So a lot of things will come in 2023 around this as well. So anyway, that was maybe an present that you can expect next year. Can you already put on your wish list? Yeah, feature number 2.
Yes, customer segments.
Oh, we have already customer segments for this feature for a while. It is very important, but recently we added more filters to create, I would say, even better customer segments. And this time we added a lot of filters around the status of shop accounts or the account you create or you get as a B2B buyer. And using these filters, you can even create better specific content for these B2B customers. For example, the ones that are not registered yet or are in the process of being registered, etc., etc.
So let's look a bit at it, and maybe you can tell us more about the main use cases.
Yeah, sure.
Of segments.
Yeah, so segmentation is I would say a very handy tool, like a Swiss Army knife that we are using in the product for so many things. But with our customers, the major use cases of segments can be the following. So you can show pieces of content for a certain target group that can be based on country, region, currency, what type of customer, maybe what kind of products they can see. And if you have made these segmentations, you can link them, connect them to pieces of content or navigation structures. You can enable or disable settings for certain things in the store, like payment settings, payment methods, which need to show up for certain segments. Same story for shipping methods. And you can also use it for filters for exporting data out of Sana and so on and so on. So that's why it's a Swiss Army knife, right? You can use it for so many things.
Talking about the filters?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit more about what you can filter on?
Oh, yeah. a lot of stuff. So we, of course, we embrace ERP integration, right? So especially all the stuff that is in your ERP, doesn't matter if it is data which is, or that you can manage, let's say, from the standard installation or standard functionality, like, customer data, any values from there. Yeah, you see it here on the screen, currency, again, address information, maybe specific types of customers that you are maybe recording on your customer card from the ERP. But we also have a lot of customers that modify the ERP, that add or change these data models there for their particular business, right? So adding a checkbox here and there for to indicate, hey, this is a important customer or something. Yeah, we see the strangest stuff. But it can also be about if a customer is allowed to show a certain group of products, for example, that they have a certain status or they have a certain license. These are scenarios that we see often. So ERP data is one. Any field, literally, even the custom ones, we are all taking care of that without any need of development. So that's one. Besides, we are collecting statistics, right? So if you're ordering online or browsing online, we have statistics from transactions, so orders that are being placed, returns, invoices, all that stuff is also in the ERP stored, of course. But also we have statistics of the both the on and the offline transactions. I think that is important to know. So we can do really cool stuff there that you say, hey, you didn't order for a while online, but welcome to see you back or something. Or you can also maybe even mention something of an offline order that was placed recently. So blending these worlds, online and offline, is also something cool that you can do here. Now, of course, you can. The last part is the context. And what is the context? The context of a visitor. So that is everything, all information, data that we are logging around shopping cart status, if you are logged in or not logged in, your last login date, number of items in the cart, what items in the cart, are you registering or not, what pages have you visited? And that can also be handy if you want to share, for example, promotions. Say, hey, you have items in your shopping cart. Do you want to finalize it and you get an extra, maybe an extra discount code? Or you can say, hey, please finalize it because the shipping will close for this moment. And B2B is very common that you say, hey, 2 times per week there is the shipping moment. Please finalize your order before today, because then it will go in the shipment of tomorrow, and otherwise the next opportunity is 2-3 days later. So in general, why are we all doing this? Already for many years we see that within B2B and direct to consumer, personalization is super important. You can really make a difference there, giving the customer, the B2B buyer, feeling that the relationship is the same between online and offline. So using these customer segments, you can easily create that experience for your B2B buyers. Swiss Army knife.
Next one, I think, is my favorite one.
Okay.
Because it uses a lot of information that we have create something great.
Mm-hmm.
So the third B2B e-commerce present of the day is the product recommender.
Nice. Yeah. So we have recently launched a new add-on called Product Recommender. And based on machine learning algorithms and massive pile of data that they always like to eat. These algorithms like to eat a lot of data to be useful. So we believe that we can give better suggestions than before. We have it displays the products which the B2B buyer usually buys, of course, together. And you've seen it a lot in B2C stores, right? That's everybody has it, but for us, I think you can also use a product set to show or a particular group of products or OS product recommendations. Yeah.
And how does this product recommender really how is it different to maybe other?
Yeah, so it looks the same like with B2C, right? Yeah. You see it on Amazon, you see it on all retail stores have this. But our recommender is based on, I would say, different data inputs than that you normally have. So our recommender is based on data from what we call what we call Sana Commerce Insights. That means that that's actually a product on top of Sana Commerce where we are gathering data from multiple data sources. So first of all, and once again, we are gathering that from the ERP. That can be offline and online transaction data and history. Also the returns, all that stuff we can put in this mechanism. But also the data which is in, let's say, the Sana product, like shopping cart information, the things that we just discussed too on segmentation that we have as well. Besides, we have we're collecting a huge pile of clickstream data from a partner that we are embedding in the product, which is called Piwik Pro. That's, let's say, next to Google Analytics, which we also use for the as input, is a tool that we use, and I always say it's like Google Analytics on steroids. And another benefit is that you're not storing that sensitive data in Google if you do not want to do so. So put it all in the mixture, and we can give better recommendations than only using, for example, online orders or only using clickstream. No, we are all those different sources of data we are combining, and our models are being adopted for that. And the second thing is, which is totally different, that is in B2B, the order behavior is totally different than with B2C. So you often have fewer customers in B2B than in B2C, but the customers are ordering more frequent. And mainstream e-commerce algorithms, or if you use something open source or you're using a third-party service that is optimized for retail or B2C scenarios, we tested them, and most of the time they do not. They didn't work for us. They didn't work for B2B because of what we previously mentioned. So then you get, let's say, strange recommendations because it's not used to the frequency amount or the let's say, using less customers, right? Sometimes they require a lot more data. But you simply do not have that always. So that's why our machine learning algorithms were optimized and built from scratch by our teams and optimized for B2B.
Good. Before we go to the fourth present, I want to just remind everyone that you can ask questions on LinkedIn via the chat. The questions that don't have to be related to these features, of course, they can be. But if you have other questions, it's also fine to put them there. So, gift number 4.
A lot of presents under the Christmas tree.
Yeah, right.
But this is just a subset.
Yeah, and we made it sustainable. We didn't wrap it in paper.
That's true. That's true.
Well, let's talk about estimated shipping. Data, but date basically.
Yeah. Estimated shipping date or lead time. And what is it actually? An estimated shipping date or lead time is a small but very important piece of data to indicate when to expect a product to be shipped when it's out of stock. And B2B buyers rely on this piece of information. It's very tiny. It's very small. It's there on the bottom above the quantity box. But if you're doing this wrong, from a business perspective, this can cause a huge wave of frustration. So because you need to share the bad news with your customer you're working for, so everybody is frustrated. And to make this simple piece of data something that you can rely on as a B2B buyer, a lot of magic needs to happen below the surface. So the ERP system has actually a lot of logic around to calculate this date. And that is, let's say another solution is not often being used. It's just most of the time just a status with a message like, it's in back order. We will call. So most of the time said call us when you want to know when you get a date. That is not how we work, right? We want to actually prevent people from calling because you want an answer now. So we are triggering all that logic which is in the ERP and get that calculated date out, and we're displaying that, and we're doing that in a faster, scalable way. And also, if you modify that whole process, because we also have a lot of customers that because of their production processes, these are even more complex. We are making use of that as well. So if you have some bypasses to do some more advanced calculations, then we can use it as well. So we bring that all to the surface in a very tiny piece of data, but very important one.
Exactly. Can you tell us more, maybe more concretely, even because you mentioned it's on the ERP? how do we get it there? This piece of data.
Yeah, so there's no need to build any logic in your web store. So with Sana, these are these Lego blocks or these building blocks. So it's just a matter of drag and dropping it in the Visual Designer if you want to use it. And maybe a bit of configuration is needed in our add-on in the ERP as well. So which field to use or which mechanism to trigger, because sometimes there are multiple ways how to do that. But no need to figure out where it's coming from the ERP, because we did all the homework for you. We are supporting all the ERPs in the SAP and Microsoft ecosystems. They all work in slightly, not even slightly, but in different ways. Even within Microsoft, the different ERPs that they have are totally different products. But yeah, we have dedicated teams that are working there, and they understand, how that functionality works and how it can be triggered. So we did all the homework. No need to take care of it, and it will directly work. Yes, so easy going.
Nice. We're at our last gift already.
It goes quick.
Yeah, it goes much faster than when we open the gifts in my family.
Okay.
Takes 2 hours. So the last gift of the day, B2B registration.
Yes. Yeah. So B2B registration is something interesting, I would say, right? It's often an internal process at B2B companies, because it's you take in a customer like via phone or maybe on an event or something, because there is also quite some processes behind it in terms of you need to maybe do a credit check, or you need to check if you can actually deliver to this customer, if it's very technical or big products or something, or are they actually allowed to do it if it's chemicals or whatsoever. So a lot of checking going on, and a lot of things that can make it complicated. So you see a lot of B2B stores where you said, okay, contact us, again, phone number, right? Or maybe if they are a little bit more modern, they say, send us a WhatsApp or an email. But that is the status quo. So they do not allow then registrations via the site and make it a completely automated process. Or if they do, what we also see, it can be a contact form that ends up with an email in an email box, right? But yeah, that's not really automation. So, but with Sana, now it's possible to register as a as a business, and it gives the feeling as a register as a consumer. But more things are need to happen as well, right? So
let's maybe talk about that, because actually B2B registrations are very different than B2C ones. I'm going to show a bit how it might look on a website.
No, yeah. So first of all, it looks more or less the same, but you need more data often. So like things like VAT number or Chamber of Commerce information, company name, and these things these are editable in our Visual Designer, so you can all do that. Maybe small side step, but almost all our pages are editable with the Visual Designer, so that makes it very flexible. You can, drag and drop things around if you need an extra field or so. That can all be managed. But to offer these unified experience for B2B buyers, these registrations also need to be added to the ERP. And why? Because if next day you are, for example, in a store and that's also connected to the ERP, you need to align these channels, right? So that you not say, okay, you need to register there again. So we added functionality that when a B2B buyer registers in the Sana store, a new customer, or how you want to map it, maybe you want to map it to a contact or to a business person, and they all have different names. Business partner in SAP is also a name that you hear maybe often. That is all what you can do with the magic of Sana, that you can connect these kind of things. So this tiny smart things. And besides of that, you can also map it to a template. So if you save a customer in the ERP, you might need more data or more things to be configured than just the name and the address and the VAT number. But based on that data, you also want to connect the correct currency and the correct tax profile, the correct payment profile, the correct payment and shipping details, let's say so. And we use customer templates to map this and to automatically connect that. So then you do not need any manual work to make that happen, and no emails to be processed.
You know what? I have a surprise.
Oh no, what is it?
Because I was wrong. There's one more gift.
Okay.
Found it under the tree, so
always good.
Let's look at that. We have one more feature to talk about, and this one I find also nice because it really simplifies the life of the B2B buyers. Order lists, or how we call it, my lists.
Yes.
In the
my list. So really, really cool new thing, or I would say it's an evolution of all the other stuff that we had, but that is exactly what we thought when we were thinking about what can we do better with order templates, which was before list, and also the wish list that we had. And how can we give these features more like a central place in Sana and a starting point of many interactions our B2B buyers will have on the platform, which order templates or wish list was not covering. It was maybe not good enough.
Can you give us some examples on what B2B consumers can use lists for?
Yeah, so lists. I'm not sure if you are keeping lists of things, but I'm yes. keeping lists of many things, like, what presents do I need to buy for my family, right? Per kid, per on what moment, and so on. So, and you have lists on what jobs you need to do at home. That I have a lot of do-it-yourself things that say, okay, paint this or fix this, or I call somebody to do this. So lists are everywhere, right? Same on your work life. To-do lists are always there. But also lists to keep products together. You can use it to keep track of out of stock items. So for example, we see customers or B2B buyers using that, so that you say, okay, this is a list of products that I want to order, but they are now currently out of stock. So I want to revisit them again or get a reminder. Your favorite items, which are using a lot, of course. If you have repeat orders or subscriptions, you can create a list for it. So making the life easier for your B2B consumers is definitely something that you can do from there. And it's not only about creating this list just as we see so many users and different user scenarios that you cannot even imagine.
And I've heard that soon we will add even more to this functionality of order list.
Soon is already coming quickly, because I believe some of it was just recently released. I believe it was yesterday or day before yesterday, but that's even better. Now we had, we are continuously evolving this. So we have now also the ability to share lists between colleagues, for example, within a company. That is super handy. But also let sales agents or sales reps prepare lists for their customers. That is one. And we can also and also can share from customer to customer if you allow that. That is also interesting that you have some collaboration there. So, and if you do not want to do that manually, which we can also understand, maybe you want to automate stuff, create automatic lists based on some other data input you have in another system. Maybe a marketing system is supplying you some shopping list for Christmas or something that you want to push to your customers. Then you can all the functionality actually on the front end, including including lists, is all exposed via our GraphQL API. Because we have a headless architecture in that sense. We created the app. The single page application is completely separated from the core functionality or from the platform. So, and there is a GraphQL API. That's a technology, but it's a very nice technology of making APIs is in between that. So if you are more like a technical user or technical customer, or you have development teams, you can talk against these APIs and automatically manage these lists as well.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you for all these gifts. I want to wrap up a bit because we heard a lot, and So we had 6 gifts today. We had gift content presets to help our customers make their web store look great.
Mm-hmm.
We had customer segments, so they can personalize the experience for their own customers. We had a product recommender. This is great usually for upsell, for selling more, but also for your customers to find what's relevant to them. Estimated shipping date, small, but so critical in these days where there's so many delays in shipping products. So giving that information to your customers is valuable. Saving time for everyone by allowing them to register with B2B registrations directly on your website. And, creating lists, because we all love lists, but also because it can help with revenue for you.
Yeah. No, very, very nice summary, Emily. And just to share, this is just the top of the Christmas tree, I would say, of the features we have released this year. We are continuously releasing features to our SaaS platform. It's a continuous flow of new functionality. You can go to support.sanacommerce.com it's just a public site, so you do not have to log in. All transparent, being shared there, and you can unwrap, I believe, even 60 or 100 other ones, because there were many new functionalities added by the teams that we have within the company. So if you want to know more, go to support.sanacommerce.com and check out all those other Christmas gifts under the tree.
Thank you. I see we don't have questions online, so I propose that we stop here for today.
All right.
And we wish you all a happy holiday, happy end of the year, and see you next year.
Thank you very much. Thanks for listening and joining. Bye-bye.